Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We're broadcasting live from our sports center in Lagos, Nigeria. And I want you to be part of the program, yes, because I want you to be part of everything that we'll be doing tonight, particularly on the 2018 African Nations Championships. Team Nigeria, the Super Eagles, they defeated Libya by a single goal. It was a very, very nervy one. Questions were being asked as that game was being played. But then Sunday Falaye's goal made the difference for Coach Salisu Yusuf and his team. So talk to us. We want to, because when I get to that segment, I'll just disregard my guests and then just read your messages right here on the program. We went on that break and then Chidi Ebere Ezeani walked into the studio. Chidi Ebere, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Thank you. I won't say good morning.
I know. I was going to say, well, let's see you in the mornings. But it's good to have you on the program.
Good evening. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure. Okay,
we won't quickly take you into that nervy game between Nigeria and Libya. Let's just continue with the show, and we'll get to that. We'll get to hear from Chidi Ebere. But let's talk about swimming in Nigeria. Yes, we've been saying that there are a lot of riverine areas in the country. So how come we don't have good swimmers? Yes, it's because they are not refined. That's because we've not given enough attention to the development of the sport. The Federal Ministry for Youth and Sports, they've done their bit in some way to renovate the swimming pools at the National Stadium. But for the Nigerian Swimming Federation, they want to give more attention to grassroots development. In Lagos tomorrow, they will be starting a swimming league. At that league, we run across different schools. The objective is to discover talent and then make sure that Nigeria is respected in swimming. We're going to be monitoring that one. But before that competition gets underway, the president of the Nigerian Swimming Federation, Tunde Fatai Williams, he's been speaking on the plans for 2018. There are a lot of plans. Let's listen to when we come back. The analysts will break it down. Don't go anywhere.
We have our Zone 2 Senior Swimming Championship taking place in Dakar in May. We have the African Senior Championship coming up in Algiers, that's in September. And then the CANA, the African Swimming Body, are trying to organize an African Junior Water Polo Championships for boys and girls, if possible, in October in Cairo, Egypt. So those are the African level championships. There are other international games. Of course, we have the youth games, we have the youth Olympics, where swimming is involved in both. So there are various international programs. There's also the FINA World Championships short course, that's 25 meters, which is in December in China. So those are already fixed. It's for us now to finalize our own domestic competitions to slot in the final program activities as preparation towards these international outings. We are working with the state associations. We're going to have a congress, a general congress very soon, and we're going to sit down with them and work out how we can assist them, because obviously there are certain areas where we could come in and assist, particularly in the area of technical support. We've already applied to FINA, the International Swimming Body, for 2 coaching courses for this year. One for swimming coaches and one for water polo coaches. The idea that we need to improve the quality of our technical side of things, the coaches. Last year we had 2 courses from FINA. Those were for the officiating officials. This year we want to emphasize more on the coaches, because we do realize that the better the coaching at the state level, the better the athletes are when they come into national camp. We'll be doing a lot in that area. Luckily, one of our board members, Mr. Stephen Onyacholam, is now a member of the FINA Coaches Committee. They had a meeting about a month ago in Budapest, and we're setting up a coaches committee at the federation level now, as well as an athletes committee, so as to see how we can assist, particularly the coaching side, to assist the states to improve the coaching quality, the quality of the coaching at that level.
So that's it. So now you know there's the Swimming Federation, and they have a lot of plans for 2018. There's the African Championship, about 3 of them. The president mentioned they are also going to the FINA World Championships in China in December. But there are a lot of questions that are being asked. Let me just get Chidi Ebere talking. Chidi Ebere, because when I heard him talking about all of the busy schedule. I was saying to myself, where are the swimmers? Where are they? Because we cannot really see swimming in our faces when talking about sport.
Well, swimming has never been, at least to my recent memory, something that we indulge in. Is not a sport that is, you know, synonymous to Nigeria. But from having had conversations with the president, he comes off as confident, and the fact that the federation is going grassroots is what is most impressive. You know, they're going into primary schools, and I think they're starting with primary schools, swimming competitions. Of course, the question arises: how many maybe state-owned schools, or how many of these so-called private schools can actually afford swimming pools in their schools? So he said swimming is an elite sport. So you can understand that. So for me, I think we'll see where they're going to get their swimmers from. Even if it's one swimmer per tournament, it's a developmental thing.
That's right.
For the first time, we're seeing a federation, an aquatic federation, who's actually, you know, putting their business out there for us to know. The truth is, up until recently, I thought it was just an office, you know. And then, you know, they're doing something good. So for me, I think let's see what they come up with. The truth is, we cannot all call names from our heads now who are Nigerian swimmers. So let's see who they come up with. If it's the children or the kids that will be going to those tournaments, we'll see how that pans out.
Alfred Chidebere asked a very important question. Where are the swimmers? Where are we getting them from? But I'll tell you this. In Lagos State tomorrow, the swimming league is going to start, and it involves kids. So that's a good way to start.
I think for the swimming federation, that, like you said, it's not something that is in your face every day. I recall when I was growing up, Roe Park Sports Center used to be the closest to a swimming pool that I ever got. It was about the biggest swimming pool around anywhere in Lagos. But I think for those who have interest in the sport, the federation over the years have been able to have that pool of kids. Perhaps you call them, okay, elite schools, some of the people who really want to, right from infancy, want their children to go into all of this. It costs a lot of money, so it's the individual now that is interested in that will, you know, towards that direction. But I want to see a situation where we have communities, riverine communities. We have kids who are born, literally born on water, who, a lot of the things we hear about the Niger Delta youths and what they do in the, I mean,
from one end to the other end, they can swim.
They can't. So why not go that route? Why not take kids from that and put them? Maybe they are doing just that, but we don't know about it. That is where I'll see, because the larger the pool. Where you have
mentioned technicalities, so it's
exactly.
good beyond just jumping into other.
That's what I'm saying. The larger the pool of people that you can, you know, you have access to in terms of training, just like sport like handball, like we mentioned earlier, why it's suffering. The pool of those playing it at the grassroots, the pool of those who are interested at the basic level, I'm not talking at the elite level, at the basic level. It's from that basic level that you begin to build on the. It's not a question, you don't teach technicalities to the, you know, smaller group. It has to be the large, then you narrow it down to those who can make it to the elite level.
And then you would just need to, you know, set up institutions that can train and retrain.
I think that's just the basic of the whole thing. Having, where do people go to swim? You go to the national stadium, and it's either you don't have access to the swimming pool or it's not in a good condition for use. So those are some of the issues we have to. Like I said, I'm happy they're starting from the grassroots. Every child on the street should not be a swimmer. So if it's an elite sport,
we can support you.
Yes, but like he said, the process of going it is expensive. So even when parents are interested, it's only one or two of them that eventually, you know, evolve into, evolve into athletes at an adult age, or just like tennis. But with the way they're going, I think is a good one.
That's right.
Start with the kids. Let's say we're pushing for, if we start with 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds now, by 2020 they will be maybe a couple of years older. Even if we don't go to the Olympics with these kids,
we should be able to go to FINA.
Yes, we should be, exactly.
People start talking about it.
Start going to juniors. From there, we can build a team of 5 or 6 that can represent us in 2024.
And I agree. And as we do that, we'll take the pressure off football. You know, that's the objective. Take the pressure off football. Michael Phelps started at 7, so that means if you get a child now that's got an interest, you just need to walk out through. It's all about talent development. Let's get on with the show now. Talk about the one that you guys are talking about on social media now. So feel free, talk to us. Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook, channels IFN Sports. It's all about the African Nations Championship. Nigeria now tops Group C with 4 points. Some real good fans of the Super Eagles on social media are saying, we don't care whether or not they struggled. The fact is that we are on top of Group C. So let's talk about that one. I'll take a look at Match Day 2 results at the African Nations Championships. That's it right there for you. Morocco, they are flying big time. Defeated Guinea by 3-1. Sudan defeated Mauritania by a single goal. Côte d'Ivoire. What's going on? Côte d'Ivoire. Well, I'm not surprised because at this stage, nobody's looking at anybody's face. Everybody's just there to impress. Côte d'Ivoire lost their first match to Namibia by a single goal, and they've lost the second to Zambia, 2-0, and that's goodbye. Uganda. What a story Namibia is trying to tell us at this competition. So, Namibia defeated Uganda by a single goal, and Nigeria, the Super Eagles, defeated Libya by a single goal also. So we're waiting to find out what's going on. That game between Rwanda and Equatorial Guinea is still goalless and is in halftime. So it's good news for the Super Eagles at this stage. Chidebre, you're close by, so let me start with you. Were you under some sort of pressure watching that match?
No.
Why?
Because I wasn't expecting much, really. Yeah, it's me being honest. I like to be like that. The thing is, the first complaint I had, you can't have 5 midfielders going to a tournament. It's too small. Rabiu Ali, fantastic player, but there's only so much you expect him to do in a game. Playing him behind, the striker limits the effort of the attack. We had opportunities to go on counter-attacks.
Well, in the first game, he had Ifeanyi to support, who is also a creative midfielder.
Ifeanyi and the other midfielder, they were both sitting because, of course, we know how effective the Libyans were in the first game on the counter-attack. So apparently, the coach wanted them to sit. We defended very well, just like we saw at the WAFU tournament. You know, good defense, good arrangement. But when it comes to attack, it seems as if we're just, you know, we lose ideas when we move forward. For me, I think he should have tried out the 2 strikers. Removing Antonio Botu for Mustafa was, I think, you know, we got the goal from a set piece. It was good. Yeah. But when it comes to general play, transition in play, which I'll keep complaining about, we couldn't string 5 passes together.
I agree. That team wasn't
and that was the whole thing for me.
You mentioned Mustafa. Let me go to Alfred. Alfred, I thought Mustafa brought some spark. Are you disappointed with Antonio Botu so far after 2 games?
I would just say that he has not brought his A game to this competition yet. That is not to say that maybe in the next game he won't. It's just that for the condition to be right for him to really play. This team, like Ezani mentioned there, the transition play is poor. On a couple of occasions, we had the opportunity to break as much as 3-4 players. You know, they have had somehow in the final third, we just kind of lose the plot. Now, Coach Salisu, obviously a defender, and when it comes to coaches like that, they like building their team from the back, and we've seen that this team can really defend. The Libyans did very well. They did very well in the first game, and perhaps maybe they showed us too much respect. They were expecting us to come at them. They felt comfortable with the first win and just felt that, okay, let's just see this game through. Eventually, Falai made a difference. Okay, taking a walk to boost confidence.
Yeah, beautiful pictures from Tangier. Our correspondent Irene Wawan is there, and he will be giving us more updates. This was before the match against Libya during their walkout, and you can see in a confident mood. And we'll get to listen to Coach Imama before that match. He says, look, we believe in this team. Despite what Chidebere thinks, this team can keep getting better because we know there's quality from the league where they came out from. But yes, that's what everybody is talking about. Do we have quality in our league, but did we have the time to put them together as a team? Yes, but I still believe that these guys can go on and do the unthinkable. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on a quick break now. When we come back, we'll listen to Coach Imama and then talk more because some of you guys still believe this team can impress. We'll talk about it when we come back. We don't go anywhere.